America's drone war shock is forcing Trump to bet big on laser guns as Washington searches for a new defense against UAV attacks. With U.S. munition stocks reportedly running low rapidly, Washington is turning toward high-powered lasers to counter the growing drone threat. Is the Pentagon's $500 million laser deal the answer to Iran-style drone warfare as America races to build a new layer of defense? The Pentagon's new laser weapon could use AI-powered systems to detect, track and burn down hostile drones before they reach their targets. The U.S. is unveiling a new vision of future warfare, with powerful lasers designed to destroy incoming drones from the sky. As Ukraine and Iran reshape the modern UAV battlefield, the U.S. is rushing to develop a powerful drone shield of its own. Despite pressure on U.S. munition stockpiles, the Pentagon is now boosting war spending and accelerating its focus on new weapons. The U.S. Army is set to spend a whopping $500 million on advanced anti-drone laser systems to counter growing UAV threats. The new anti-drone systems will reportedly be sourced from AeroVironment Incorporated under the Pentagon's latest agreement. The agreement could deliver dozens of LOCUST laser systems to the U.S. Army as Washington expands its counter-drone arsenal. The LOCUST uses AI technology to detect, track and identify incoming drones before engaging them with high-energy laser beams. The deal would reportedly mark the Pentagon's first production contract for a dedicated directed energy counter-drone system. The laser weapon is designed to destroy small and medium-sized drones using concentrated high-energy beams instead of conventional missiles. The move aims to provide a cheaper way to defeat drone threats without rapidly burning through America's expensive missile stockpiles. The Pentagon is also pushing to expand U.S. offensive drone production and capabilities as modern warfare increasingly revolves around unmanned systems. This comes as fresh fissures reportedly emerge within the Trump administration over concerns surrounding America's rapidly depleting munition stockpiles. U.S. President Donald Trump reportedly confronted Defense to War Pete Hegseth over growing concerns about America's military readiness during high-level national security discussions. According to the Washington Post, Trump reportedly clashed with Pete Hegseth after being briefed on shrinking U.S. munition stockpiles following months of military operations. The reported confrontation took place during a high-level meeting at Camp David on July 31st, where senior officials were discussing strategy for the Iran conflict. Trump was reportedly left frustrated after learning that key U.S. missile inventories were significantly lower than he had previously been led to believe. Sources claimed Trump had earlier been assured that the munitions issue had been resolved, but he reportedly believed he had been given a misleading assessment. The report said Trump demanded to know why he had received what he viewed as an inaccurate picture of America's military readiness and available weapons. The United States is reportedly facing shortages of several long-range guided missiles, as well as critical air defense interceptor systems needed for future operations. THAAD interceptor missiles, which play a vital role in defending U.S. bases against ballistic missile threats, are reportedly in critically short supply after recent operations. The reported shortages have become an increasingly important constraint on U.S. military planning as Iran continues to demonstrate its retaliatory missile capabilities. Meanwhile, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt strongly rejected the report, dismissing the claims as fake news and denying any clash between Trump and Defense to War Pete Hegseth. Caroline Leavitt said, and I quote, "I was at Camp David with President Trump and Secretary Hegseth. This literally never happened, and we told the Washington Post that repeatedly." This BS story was shopped to many outlets by someone clearly out to disparage the secretary, for whatever reason. Unfortunately for them, the president loves the secretary and thinks he's doing a tremendous job. Fake news. Unquote. The U.S. is now seeking billions of dollars to rebuild missile stocks after months of intense operations in the Iran war, reflecting how quickly modern conflicts drain high-end munitions. On July 31st, Bloomberg revealed that the Pentagon has submitted a new $67 billion emergency request, a package explicitly tied to the ongoing Iran conflict and its costs. Within that broader request, $18.2 billion has been earmarked to replace key missiles used during recent operations, focusing on the most advanced interceptors and cruise weapons. The funding plan has been formally submitted to U.S. Senate and House Defense Committees, signaling that Congress is now being asked to sign off on this rapid rearmament push. Bloomberg's report comes after months of U.S. strikes on Iranian targets and repeated defensive interceptions against incoming missiles and drones across the region. The Pentagon's shopping list includes about $5.75 billion dedicated just to THAAD interceptors, reflecting how heavily the high-altitude shield was relied on during the war. Another $5.57 billion are set aside for Patriot PAC-3 MSE missiles, the Army's frontline air defense rounds that have been fired repeatedly to stop Iranian attacks. Around $1.9 billion would go to Standard Missile-6 interceptors, a versatile Navy weapon used for both air and missile defense in contested waters. Some $1.3 billion is earmarked for new Tomahawk cruise missiles, replenishing the long-range strike inventory that has been used for precision hits on Iranian targets. A further $1 billion would fund SM-3 Block IA interceptors, crucial for exo-atmospheric missile defense and increasingly central to US-led protection. About $992 million is allocated to AMRAAM air-to-air missiles, ensuring US fighter jets can continue to engage hostile aircraft and drones without worrying about shortages. The list also includes roughly $692 million for precision strike missiles, expanding the Army's ability to hit key ground targets at long range with conventional warheads. US officials say this emergency request reflects growing concerns over America's missile stockpiles, which have been visibly strained by sustained high-tempo operations. American forces fired 13,629 munitions during the recent Iran conflict, according to Bloomberg, a figure that highlights just how intense and prolonged the campaign has become. Pete Hegseth notes that the request also includes around $21 billion to speed up missile procurement, aiming to push industry to deliver faster and in greater volume. Part of that accelerated funding is targeted at lower-cost precision munitions, which planners hope will carry more of the burden in future operations without exhausting high-end stocks as quickly. Bloomberg's breakdown suggests the funding could buy about 1,137 Patriot PAC-3 MSE interceptors, significantly rebuilding the air defense magazine after months of heavy use. It could also fund roughly 479 THAAD interceptors, restoring the high-altitude layer that has protected bases and allies from Iranian ballistic threats. Around 462 Tomahawk cruise missiles could be purchased, reloading US and allied ships and submarines with long-range precision firepower. The plan includes enough money for about 442 SM-6 interceptor missiles, bolstering the Navy's ability to defend fleets and coastal assets against complex air attacks. Finally, about 433 precision strike missiles could be acquired, expanding the Army's capacity to strike critical nodes deep inside an adversary's territory. Defense analysts point out that the request may not perfectly match the exact number of missiles fired, suggesting it reflects broader planning rather than pure one-for-one replacement. Some line items closely match estimated Patriot and THAAD expenditure during the war, implying those systems are being replenished almost directly for what was used in combat. However, analysts note that other missile requests appear lower than estimated combat consumption, raising questions over whether the Pentagon is also relying on future production boosts and allied stockpiles.
Upgrade your news experience with the all-new HT app. Download now.